This is Super MarioMon, a new RomHack project from AlphaRad, and it asks the question, what if Mario was Pokemon? To answer it, his team made a brand new Pokemon game with a new world to explore, new captures to catch, and new challenges for us to beat. I'm going to try to hardcore Nuzlocke this new game without knowing anything about the trainers, captures, or even the story. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Mushroom Kingdom, everybody. I'm filling the role of Mario in this RomHack, and my brother Luigi is here too, I guess. Princess Peach and Professor Egad have put together something called the Cap Challenge, a new game being played across the Mushroom Kingdom that feels just different enough from Pokemon to avoid a lawsuit. Just like in regular Pokemon games, we do get to choose a starter from the water type Blooper, the grass type Piranha Plant, or the fire type Babomb. I feel like fire types are going to be kind of rare, so we're going to start with Excavator, the Babomb. Full transparency, I do have a spreadsheet with the Pokedex or the TattleDex pulled up, just so I have an idea of what every type encounter is, but I'm not going to look at the stats or the abilities, etc. Speaking of encounters, in a Hardcore Nuzlocke, you can only catch the first capture in each named area. So once we get given caps, which is this version's game of Pokeballs, we run around in the grass of World 1-1. Yes, routes are called worlds now. Here we find our very first teammate, a Koopa Troopa named Repairman. She's got the shell armor ability to block critical hits, so I'm sure she'll be pretty good at least. Our first new city is Toad Town, where there's tons of fun NPCs to meet and new storylines to uncover. Inside the Capture Center, we meet Nurse Toadette and a Nurse Toad behind the counter, with the former healing our captures like normal, and the latter raising our entire team to the level cap. Yeah, there's an entire level cap system and even a Nuzlocke mode that I enabled at the beginning of the game. My only critique is that the random trainers on the routes are severely underleveled if you use this feature, so I'm not going to be showing too many of those fights. We meet a Berry Seller Toad, then find two intellectuals in a very competitive chess match before heading to Peach's castle by traversing World 1-2. Here we grab a Goomba named OBGYN because, well, I think he's suited for the job. Down a warp pipe we go, and since this is listed as a new area, I catch a Buzzy Beetle named Ninja because, come on, a turtle that lives in the sewer. After going through what felt like every single warp pipe but the correct one, we finally get to Peach's castle, the start of the Cap Challenge. We grab a beanie here too, nicknamed Dentist because look at those Chip Skylark-ass pearly whites. Peach introduces us officially to the Cap Challenge and tasks both Luigi and I to take on a few double battles to learn the mechanics. First about abilities, and then about held items. This is a pretty solid way to get people who've potentially never played Pokemon up to speed. Toadsworth is waiting for us afterwards, and he's the final roadblock before we meet up with Peach again. He's got this Shy Guy with Metronome, spamming random moves that always go first thanks to the Prankster ability, letting status moves go first. We get through it fairly easily, so now all that's left to do is challenge Peach for our first Power Star, the gym badges of the Cap Challenge. Okay, Peach, let's... Bowser? He's here to complain about not getting invited to be a gym leader, so Peach makes up a really quick lie. Princess, I don't think he's gonna buy that. Give him a moment. Looks like it worked. We've got to fight Bowser here, but since he just learned about the game, his actual captures are really underleveled, but when he sends himself out as his ace, we're in a little bit of trouble. He's not in the TattleDex, obviously, and is using a strat of boosting his defenses and then using Rage, a move that increases his attack stat every time we attack him. This isn't very fun, but we've got 5 healthy captures to slowly chip him down. He leaves, complaining about having no time to practice, so that only leaves Peach for us to take down for the first Power Star. Peach leads with Biddy Buddy, and I lead with Koopa Troopa. Our tackle does like a quarter, kind of unimpressive. Then a charm drops our attack by 2 stages, so we're gonna do even less damage next turn. I swap to Babomb, who tanks a Covet for almost half. Another one brings our starter down to the red before our held Oranberry. Then an Ember brings Peach's first capture down to the yellow. I kinda wanna keep my starter, I know, shocking. So I swap out into Goomba on another Covet that does over half. Another one is gonna KO us, so I stay in and use Rapid Spin. That gets a critical hit. Somehow that brings down Peach's lead capture, and I'll take it. Second up is Baby Yoshi, who's got one of the best sprites, hands down. I swap into Buzzy Beetle, who takes a return for only 4 damage. I'll fast forward for a bit since we kind of just stall with our high defense, but basically we do some damage, waste each other's berry juice items, then we can swap to Beanie on another return that gets a critical hit, because of course it did. A special leafage brings Peach's ace down to the red, then another return only does 4 damage to Mr. Shiny Teeth and me. One more leafage brings down Baby Yoshi and leaves the Princess of the Mushroom Kingdom with only 1 capture left, and that's her Crazy Daisy. I'm assuming this is a grass type, look at it, So I stay in and use a leafage, trying to gauge how strong this little thing is, and I guess it's not a grass type. It also just missed a sing, so looks like this battle's in the bag. Nope. Apparently we're speed tied, so it outspeeds, actually hits the sing, and puts our grass type to sleep. I try to wake up to end the battle, but Beanie just needs his beauty sleep apparently, so I've got to swap into Koopa Troopa after a couple turns, tanking a disarming voice in the process. From here, a stab quick attack brings down Peach's final capture, and we've won Power Star number 1 of the run. Not only that, but we also got given our very own Yoshi egg. Did someone say new team member? Our level cap is up to 17 according to Nurse Toad, so Excavator evolves into his stage 2 form, Chuck Ya. Then we take down our brother in a quick battle before warping over to World 2, the Cloud Kingdom. Our encounter here is a bitty bud named Navigator, then we get thrown by a Pianta to Dr. Shy Guy's house. This won't hurt a bit, probably. Wait, probably? Welcome to Cloud Cap, the next major city on our cap challenge. Here we meet a fisherman similar to Encanto, who gives us a Podoboo. Weird, I was expecting a water type. Apparently Daisy is a badass pirate that everyone in this town warns me about, so we head over to World 2-2 first, where we grab another new encounter, Weatherman the Tough Puff. I feel like having a poison type could be useful, especially with the neutralizing gas ability, canceling out other capture's abilities. Bowser's goons are literally here to shoot me with bullet bills, plus they turn them into overdrive and now they're all shiny. I keep getting hit by them even though I clearly dodged it, but we traverse the route until we meet a Koopa Troopa admin, who looks so cool. I don't know if this is an original design or not, but he's so cool. He sucks at battling, but he looks really cool. After a trip through another warp pipe, we get up to Daisy's stolen airship. Well, at least we're outside of it. Bowser is back, waiting to take us on again, but just like last time, his captures aren't too hard, but Bowser himself is really annoying. With the main antagonist gone for now, we can board Daisy's airship. She greets us, but before we can actually challenge her, we've got to score a goal with a bullet bill by changing all these electric barriers. I'm not gonna lie, I have no idea how I solved this. I just pressed a bunch of buttons while avoiding the optional trainers until it worked, and I was like, oh, cool. That works for me. Let's see what Daisy has in store for us. Daisy leads with Pokey, and I lead with Beanie. Its part grass typing only gives us a neutral matchup, so I want to save my only grass type for a bigger threat down the line. So I swap out into Bitty Bud on a 3-hit barrage for less than half our HP. Our Stomp misses on the next turn, thanks Hustle, love you. Then a 4-hit barrage brings our normal type down to the yellow. I swap into Koopa Troopa now on another barrage that only hits 4 times. We have neutral Razor Shell here, so we connect with one for like a quarter and drop its defense before a barrage misses, giving us another turn to work with. Razor Shell brings Daisy's lead to the yellow and gets another defense drop. Rough Skin does some damage to us that activates our Oran Berry, then a 5-hit barrage drops our Koopa into the yellow. Not a big deal though, since after we hit one more Razor Shell, Pokey goes down, and Daisy sends out her second capture, Monty Mole. We've got like no HP, so I bring in Goomba on a dig, making the ground type unhittable for a turn. Not a big deal, we're faster, so we miss a rapid spin, and then a dig. Jesus Christ, this rat's got hands. I bring in Buzzy Beetle to take another dig, then I use Charm, dropping its attack by 2. I'll fast forward like I did the last time I used this guy. I get its attack down to -6 and then slowly chip it down for a few turns. Then I swap into Beanie on a resisted dig before finishing off Daisy's second capture. That leaves the Princess of Sasaraland with only her ace, Twister. It uses Gust, which makes sense now that I think about it, which does huge damage to my grass type before our super effective leafage does less than half in return. I make the choice here to sacrifice Goomba for the clean switch since I've got my fair share of other normal types. I bring in my starter, Chuck Ya, who might be weak to ground types, but we can still safely tank a Sand Tomb for slightly over half before connecting with a Stab Vital Throw, which is actually strong enough to bring down Daisy's ace. With that, we've won the Cloud Kingdom Power Star, but we've also suffered the first death of the run. New level cap acquired, a few new evolutions for the team, and we visit Toadette at her battle school, which won't be important now, but it will be in a little bit. Back over at the Warp Zone, we have a choice to head to World 3 or World 4 first, and normally I would think about it, but it just feels weird going to 4 before 3. That just feels wrong. Bowser trashes the warp pipe right after we leave, without using it. This guy is the one kidnapping my girlfriend, by the way. World 3-1 has like a beach-like feel almost, and we get an appropriately typed encounter here. A water-typed strolling stew. I love this guy. He looks like squished against the screen. 10 out of 10, no notes. Welcome to Diamond City, World 3's ginormous major city. home of the WarioWare building and some very knowledgeable citizens. I love Diamond City, but I don't think I can say the same about Diamond Suburbs. Cities are engines of creativity and wealth creation, and low-density suburbs and exurbs exist just to extract that wealth, then use it to support wasteful, inefficient, and environmentally harmful lifestyles. Yo, this toad's kind of spitting. Mario's rival kind of reminds me of Elon Musk. Not because he's evil, well, I guess, yeah, because he's evil, but also because he's like a freak that thinks he can just buy his way into being cool on the internet. He also takes advantage of people to do it too. Symbolism, man. We meet some famous Mario characters, like Elite Four Larry from Paldea. Then we gotta get 3 passwords from 3 WarioWare characters to be allowed to challenge the man himself. First, we take down Dance Machine Jimmy, and we have to do like this Simon Says Repeat After Me puzzle, and this took me an embarrassingly long time. Don't look at me like that, wait, what was I saying? Password number 2 is from Penny and Dr. Krygor over at the Diamond City version of the Battle Factory, complete with rental captures. A really cool addition. Last up is Ashley, who has a Pokemon Mansion style mitt. What the? Luigi? How did you get summoned by the word mansion? Luigi is being a scaredy cat, so we have a quick battle with him, where I lose my starter after Flamewheel didn't KO his own starter, the evolved Pee-wee Piranha. Yeah, not my best moment. He literally just leaves too after. Like, what a loser. Ashley's maze isn't too hard, and then we grab a boo named CEO here too, but apparently she'll just give you the password without a fight if you select no here. I really wish I did. Wario is trying to make a knockoff of the new hit game in Diamond City, MarioMon. I wonder if his is any good. Holy shit, is that red? These sprites are killer too, like, mwah, the colors just pop. I actually almost wiped in this battle too, but our main man, Strollin' Stew, got 4 flinches in a row on Lapras, basically saving the whole team. That's my goat right there. With his new game branded as a cheap imitation of the hit MarioMon, he tries to take out his anger on us, with the Diamond City Power Star on the line. Wario leads with Bandit, and I lead with Para-Bitty-Buddy. Fake Out nets our opponent some free damage on the first turn, then it uses the move Fling on the next turn. This launches its held item at us, and since it was holding a light ball, Para-Bitty-Buddy gets paralyzed. We break through it and hit a wing attack for over half though. Now that it's lost its held item, Bandit uses Thief to try to steal ours, which would have been a great strategy if I had remembered to give Para-Bitty-Bun one. It was a cool little strategy though. Second up is Buzzy Beetle, so I swap into Stew as Wario uses Curse, dropping its speed but raising its attack and defense. Just like when I abuse Buzzy Beetle, I'll fast forward since this one takes forever. It sets up its defenses while Stu chips it down with Special Water Gun. Then when we get it low, I swap to Spike Top to finish the battle, taking down its pre-evolution with a couple of Smart Strikes. Third up is the namesake of Wario's biggest competitor and his own ace, Pyoro. My tank is pretty high HP, so I stay in for a turn to see if this bird can even do anything to me. A Gust does basically nothing. Then our Smart Strike does like a quarter in return. We're totally safe here, so I'll spare you all the time. Pyoro goes down after a few turns and Spike Top is still above half HP. Wario's last capture is Phanto, and since it didn't come out earlier, I'm assuming this thing can't really touch Spike Top either. I'm proven correct as it uses Draining Kiss that doesn't do very much. Then I retaliate with a Smart Strike for 3/4. We're out of Draining Kiss crit range, so from here, we stay in, tank and Astonish for 1 damage. Then finish off Wario's final capture with another Smart Strike. That's Wario down, and we're saving the gaming community one poser at a time. Our cap's up to 32 now, so let's see what new evolutions we got. Wait, that's it? Okay. The Purple Warp Pipe takes us to World 4, just outside its major area, Main Street. After we take down the Shaman, he explains to us that regular money is worthless on Main Street. Purple coins are the currency of choice, and we're gonna need all the help we can get, since to get into this city, there's an insane toll to pay. Thankfully, a Toad sells us a Koopa Shell key item, allowing us to surf around and take a detour around the gate. We grab 2 encounters. First, a Sprangler named Taylor that immediately evolves into a Terrantox, then a Fuzzy named Factory Worker. If you know, you know. With 2 new guys, we head inside the Glittering Cave and grab a Shy Guy named Video Editor, since all video editors are Shy Guys in real life, right? Is this projecting? I ran around for way longer than I'd like to admit because I thought I needed strength to get through this, but yeah, I'm a little blind, I'm gonna be honest. Eventually, we get through it and we're in Main Street. Nice propaganda, by the way. This Koopa tells us there's a loan shark in town, so we're gonna avoid the hell out of that. Then we find a mom whose family got destroyed by serious addictions like prescription drugs and gacha games. The casino is a free and fair place, and we've got to solve some puzzles to find Waluigi. By solve, do you mean f around for 30 minutes wasting every single purple coin you have until you realize the solution was right in front of your f***ing eyes the whole time? You useless piece of shit. Yeah, that's what I meant. Waluigi gives us a passionate speech about being a gamer, and it's time for one of the most insane battles I've ever had. Waluigi leads with Swoop, and I lead with Stew. Now, I'm actually going to stray away from my typical turn-by-turn breakdowns here, because I just want to discuss the actual team structure of the battle rather than the actual battle. Since Waluigi's a gambler, his entire strategy revolves around RNG. His lead capture has 2 moves to kick this off: Acupressure and Baton Pass. Acupressure gives you a +2 boost to a random stat, then it can pass those boosts with Baton Pass to a capture that can make use of them. In this battle, Swoop got a +2 attack boost and passed it to Porcupuff, but since it relies on dive to do damage, we could just use Obstruct from Spike Top to drop its defenses, then get a KO with Paratroopa. His other captures aren't super difficult to deal with either, but they're all holding Starf Berries, a super rare berry that randomly boosts a stat by 2 once it drops to 25% HP. In this battle, Waluigi's Terrantox could have threatened Paratroopa if its Starf Berry gave it a speed boost instead of a defense boost here. His last 2 captures kind of get their AI broken by Sticky Web speed drops, so they kind of just baton pass speed drops to each other over and over again. Then we eventually take them down. Overall, this wasn't a very hard fight, mostly because Poison is a terrible type, but it was such a fun design. Having an entire team built around random stat boosts and passing them around is such a great gimmick, and as a Nuzlocker, I love that the entire battle can just do an entire 180 out of nowhere. Great battle, but let's keep it rolling. Level cap is up to 40 now, and what's the deal with Waluigi's bag? Waluigi's famous warp powder, a shortcut to wherever your heart desires. Use the powder? Sure, why not? This is the best joke in the game. We get 4 new evolutions here, including Podoboo into the fire dragon type Blarg. With nothing left to do, it's time to head to World 5, and I think it's monkey time. Our encounter is even a monkey too. Zookeeper, the normal ground type Yukiki. Bowser shows up, reenacts an airplane bit, then decides to manipulate Luigi. Stealing jokes and manipulating people. Sounds like my Friday night. The Kong Guards introduce you to a new battle style of the Jungle Kingdom. Wild battles, or double battles. Yeah, they're just double battles. Listen, I sound kind of petty right now, but I just want to give some flowers to the Super MarioMon team here. This Captain Toad section is really cool and innovative and pretty fun for the most part. Having to solve separate sides of the puzzle to progress is really fun, but I really wish the Captain Toad didn't have to fight anything on his own. As someone doing a Nuzlocke in the Nuzlocke mode of the game, needing to catch random captures to even stand a chance in this section feels weird to me. I guess, I don't know. I like the gimmick, but I just wish that you moved all the trainers to the Mario side of the puzzle. Just my opinion though. Bowser decides to steal the golden banana. Hey, that was my nickname in high school. So we obviously gotta stop him. Toad gets launched away for another Captain Toad puzzle section, but since we're alone, we can go fish in the jungle village and grab a Skeeter named Waiter, who immediately evolves into a Scuttlebug. Then we can grab the fighting grass type Trunkle named Arborist. After some puzzle solving I'm skipping because I didn't have any fun with it, we're in the Kong capital, home of the 5th Power Star. Apparently there's a comedy club here too. I guess everyone steals jokes in this place. The Safari Zone holds tons of interesting places and cool, rare encounters. Sweet, a bug flying type. Yay. After the 3rd Captain Toad puzzle section, I wish I left you on Cloud Cap, you motherfucker. We arrive at the Banana Temple, where we can confront Bowser in a double battle with Captain Toad, where we definitely never almost lose a capture. The Monk Fia pull up, take the golden banana back, tell some bad jokes. Please don't do that. And now we're allowed to challenge DK for the Power Star. On the way back, we grabbed a fishbone named Angler, who's never gonna make another appearance in the video. Everyone say bye, Angler. Bye, Angler. In the temple, we get told some more bad jokes. I love this bit about him always giving a flyer to his show though. And now it's time for a showdown with Donkey Kong. DK leads with Parabini and Spindrift, and I lead with Trunkle and Paratroopa. Now, I was kind of expecting this to be a ground type gym because like I caught Yukiki earlier and it was a ground type, but then I saw his first captures and I remembered that Daisy was a ground type leader like 2 Power Stars ago. I protect with Paratroopa, but since Spindrift used Safeguard to block status conditions and Parabini set up grassy terrain, our protect was literally useless. At least Trunkle used Power Up Punch into Spindrift, doing a little bit of damage and boosting our attack by 1. Spindrift protects, wasting my 2nd Power Up Punch, but Parabini decides to be a nice guy, using Follow Me to redirect both my attacking moves into... Or acrobatics can just get a one-shot, I guess. I guess we are attacking into protect. DK's own Trunkle is out third, and I feel fairly safe to stay in and keep trying to boost up my grass type. I protect with Paratroopa since Trunkle might have a rock move, then Spindrift sets up Tailwind, doubling its entire team's speed. That means DK's Trunkle goes before mine, using an Ice Punch into the protect before our second power-up punch does a little bit of damage to our mirror matchup. Since I don't want my Fly type tanking an Ice move, I swap him out into Stew. DK's Trunkle protects, and Spindrift uses Magical Leaf? Why? Both my captures even resisted it. Well, Stu just ate a ton of damage, and I didn't even get another boost on Trunkle, so that turn was definitely a win for DK. I swapped Stu out to Scuttlebug, who tanks a neutral Magical Leaf for way more than I thought, Jesus. Then Trunkle also uses a resisted Drain Punch that just KOs my Bug Water type. Okay, no, yeah, that's fine. At least Trunkle got up to +3 though. I bring Paratroopa back in, hoping to keep baiting Ice Punches to keep Trunkle safe on the left side. After protecting, Spindrift renews Safeguard, which wore off, then Trunkle wastes a turn using Ice Punch before our own grass fighting type gets up to +4 attack. Tailwind ends, and I think I have a great idea. Since my Trunkle is now going to be faster, I decide to try to get a positioning advantage, bringing in Parabini in place of Paratroopa. Since at +4, Trunkle can break... That was a miscalculation. At least DK's second capture is down, so I bring Paratroopa back in and DK sends out Sumo Bro 4th. We protect with Paratroopa as normal, which blocks a Magical Leaf and a Rock Tomb, then a power-up punch brings the grass type up to +5. Flying Turtle out, Spike Turtle in, as Trunkle tanks a Magical Leaf and Spike Top tanks a light Rock Tomb, before we finally make it to +6 attack, leaving Sumo Bro in the red. Perfect. All it's left to do is protect Spike Top and... Hello? Hello? What does Obstruct even do? Sumo Bro has Unseen Fist. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, there goes my best capture. I bring back in the old reliable Paratroopa, and DK sends out his final capture. My main in Mario Kart, Wiggler. Yes, I play Wiggler in Mario Kart. Specifically, I use Wiggler on the Wiggler cart. It uses Rage Powder, which is basically Bug type Follow Me, then Spindrift uses Tailwind again, before Acrobatics can take down the Bug Flying type, then a +6 Drain Punch brings Spindrift into the yellow. From here, an Extreme Speed barely misses the KO, then after Safeguard goes up, one more Drain Punch from our superpowered Trunkle takes down DK's last capture. With that, we're over halfway through our Power Star quest, but that was an expensive battle. The comedy club is called Ja-Apes, like Japes. F off, who named this? Papyrus? We've suffered some big losses, including Spike Top, who's probably my best capture, but our level cap did go up to 45, so that nets us 0 new evolutions. Great, no, yeah, I didn't want any anyways. We do at least get a Cheap Chomp from the Kong capital. Yay, the ugliest fish imaginable. Awesome. The Warp Pipe to the Metro Kingdom actually sends us to the Sand Kingdom instead. This is never gonna get fixed, by the way. At least we get a ground type here, Pokey, who evolves pretty quickly into Poison Pokey. Tostarena, a little blast from the Mario Odyssey past. We gotta stop Kamik from ruining the teleporter, so we head down to World 6-2, grab a Clubba named Comedian, then head into Tostarena Tower to scout out the Sitch. The Sitch? That was fucking lame as shit. There's Braille writing inside of here, so I'm sure this is really important to translate. Subscribe to Twitch okay. Bada bing, bada boom, ladder fixed, and we can travel around the tower. That didn't rhyme. I grab Therapist the Thwomp here, then I do some ice puzzles, and oh shit, Kamik. Fuck, my team is not ready for this. Okay, it's fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. Jesus Christ, what a massacre. Well, there go 4 of my captures. Kamik using himself as a capture is so broken. It's like the fastest thing I've ever seen. I even lost Blarg. Welcome to New Donk City, home of the Metro City Power Star and some insightful conversations like Skippity Toilet, and I finally get to eat the New Donk Spaghetti. Luigi beats Pauline in front of us, then challenges us to claim the life of our paratrooper, rip the last of my first 3 encounters. And then instead of getting to go challenge our ex, she sends us to the sewers. Honestly, I'd send my ex on a sewer scavenger hunt too. Fair enough. Our encounter here, a swoop, uses Memento and sacrifices itself just to make my day even worse. We twist some dials to fix the water levels. Global warming can't be real, by the way. Look at these water levels, they're fine. And after that, we find Bowser giving a live underground performance like that one Ed Sheeran Alley video. I would give his performance a light 5. So Bowser storms off and I find out I could have saved my encounter for the sentient piano instead. God damn it. I want the cool monster piano. With the New Donk sewer problem addressed, Pauline finally agrees to a battle, but I'm feeling like I need a little more firepower after our recent string of stupid losses. First, I head back to Peach's castle and enter this garden behind her room. Did I accidentally find out about this because my roommate was watching the AlphaRad video? Maybe. It was an accident, okay? I get this abomination, which isn't going to be much help. Then I head over to Main Street to grab a casino encounter. Listen, I need a few bucks, okay? I decided to grab the most expensive capture, a mini Yux named TikTok, who I'm hoping will be really good after evolving into a regular Yux. While I was hunting around looking for things to sell for purple coins, I remember that this section in the glittering cave that I couldn't access without strength can be accessed now. After exploring in the dark and fumbling around, I head inside this room and what the fuck is that? Is this a Baldur's Gate mod or something? The Mushroom Kingdom Dragon's Quest? Well, whatever a hooktail is, I already have my glittering cave encounter, so no dragon for me. Wait, dragons. Plural. Quest menu, scroll down. Toad Town? Where the hell in Toad Town could a dragon be hiding? Well, I've got plenty of time to look for this, so let's go take a look. What transpired after this was an hour of me fucking around in Toad Town until I saw something. That pipe right there. How do I get to it? Well, there's got to be a way from World 1-2, right? Well, after another hour of searching, I finally got to this pipe, which took me to a random item for nothing. Awesome. Eventually, I figured it out, got to the pipe, and entered the Toad Town sewers, a secret location. After solving the first puzzle, I entered a room that looks like the floor of Mirage Tower in Emerald. Perfect. I have the Yoshi bike thing that you get earlier. I just need to... I fell through. Okay. Well, I just need to try again. And is there like another bike equivalent? I think there's gotta be, because Yoshi can't get through this. This was a fun waste of time. I'll be back, mysterious dragon. With literally nothing to show for it, I head back to New Donk City, return the mayor's microphone, and now we have the privilege of challenging her to a battle for the 6th Power Star. Pauline leads with Bristol, and I lead with Arborist. We're gonna try to see if we can set up some power-up punches a bit on Pauline's lead. So after doing some solid damage, getting to +1, then taking some Iron Barbs chip damage, Bristol just sets up a layer of stealth rocks. One more power punch gets us our first KO of the battle and another attack boost. Then Pauline sends out her second capture, her ace, Chain Chomp. I get a little greedy here, going for a third power up punch, doing a little bit under half, before a super effective Ice Fang brings our grass type down to the yellow. From here, I switch to using Drain Punch, getting us KO number 2 of the battle and some much needed recovery. Third up is Snooze Orb, a capture that I'm assuming is a monster because I saw it have the Truant ability in the Jungle Kingdom. It just Volt Switches out right away, leaving Trunkle in the yellow, but since whatever is switching in is now left defenseless, Pauline's Bonsai Bill drew the short straw. A critical hit +3 Drain Punch KOs the Speed Demon in one shot, healing Trunkle back to almost full HP and bringing Snooze Orb right back out. You know what they say, if it's nice, do it twice. Volt Switch does basically nothing again, then Pauline sends out Clubba to the slaughter. A 4-time super effective +3 Drain Punch takes care of Pauline's 4th capture, leaving only the Volt Switcher itself left, Snooze Orb. It tries to run away again, typical coward behavior. Then a super effective Drain Punch takes care of Pauline's final capture, winning us the battle and earning us the Metro Kingdom Power Star. Level cap is up to 47 now, and we can head to the next kingdom, or at least we could if Wario and Waluigi didn't take apart the fucking warp pipe. Pauline calls in a favor, building us a road for our carts. Wait, shit, a cart. I know exactly where to use that. Fuck this road. Let's go back to Toad Town. Okay, use the cart and let's go. It actually worked. Okay, this is a piece of cake. Oh yeah, I fucking suck at these puzzles. Listen, did I use save states to save me some time? Don't worry about that. You know what actually matters? That I fucking did it. Boom. Hello, dragon number 2, Gloomtail. Using Shrewboyd. Oh, wait, yeah, Shrewboyd. I caught this right after I lost to Kamik earlier. I was just too tilted to mention it. Don't get used to him because he dies in this fight to help us secure the catch on our newest team member, President. He's gonna make like 47 out there and fuck up everything. Welcome to the Comet Observatory, Rosalina's main hangout and basically a Luma Zoo. We've got to get some silver stars from World 7-1 and 7-2, but since I spent like 5 minutes of this video on my wild goose chase, or I guess my wild dragon chase, I'm going to speed through this one pretty quickly. We get 2 encounters from this part, Bank Teller the Star Bag, who's my favorite Mario NPC of all time, and Dancer the Baby Penguin, who evolves into a regular penguin who... Why is she looking at me like that? This isn't B-Stars. I'm not into that. I could have caught the Crystal King also if I waited, which is lame, but you live and you learn. With all 5 silver stars acquired, the best princess in Mario, Fight Me, challenges us for the 7th power star of the run. Rosalina leads with Luma, and I lead with Poison Pokey. Poison Jab does over half to Rosalina's iconic partner, but a Psychic in return does basically the same amount to our Poison type. Since we're faster, we stay in and finish off the part Fairy type with another Poison Jab. Second up is Starbag, and... I'm starting to think this isn't a fairy type gym. I swap out into King Boo on a Psychic that she's immune to. Then after getting burned by a Will-O-Wisp on the next turn, A super effective Dark Pulse does slightly less than half to the Psychic type. I'm going to fast forward here. King Boo is really specially bulky and this one isn't too much of a challenge. A Dark Pulse followed by a Sucker Punch gets the job done. Third up is my Casino encounter, Yooks. I decided to test fate and stay in here, so after connecting with a Shadow Ball for over half, a super effective Moon Blast does a very planned amount of damage. See? Told you. Fine. One more Shadow Ball takes down this weirdly shaped Frisbee, and fourth up is Mr. I. What the fuck is that? Ugh. I swapped a Clubba on a Lash Out that does really solid damage since Dark isn't resisted by Steel, unlike in the regular Gen 3 games this hack is built in. I stay in and used First Impression, which does a lot of damage. I'm assuming this thing is Dark Psychic now. Then a Glare does paralyze our Steel type tank though. Somehow we're still faster even while paralyzed, so Clubba uses Rest, healing our status condition and HP, but putting us to sleep. A Held Chesto Berry does wake us up right away though, so after Mr. I sets up a Reflect, we've got a perfectly healthy Mace Wielder. I swap out to Sniff It for the first time in this run, who gets paralyzed by a Glare right away. That's not a big deal, so after we fake out for some free damage, a single Iron Head brings down Mr. I thanks to a critical hit. That leaves the best Mario princess with only her ace, Lubba, the evolved form of Luma. Our normal Steel typing makes me feel fine staying in here, so after Lubba boosts its special attack and defense with Calm Mind, a super effective Iron Head brings Rosalina's ace down to the yellow. From here, after tanking a Moonblast down to 67 HP, Sniff It stays fully paralyzed. Awesome. No, yeah, I wanted to switch anyways. Thankfully, we've got another normal Steel type in the back, so I swap into Clubba on another Moonblast for pretty light damage. After a priority First Impression does some decent damage, Lubba sets up a Wish, needing to survive for one more turn for some good recovery. Unfortunately for the Princess of the Stars, she's not going to get that extra turn, since after tanking another Moonblast, Clubba can secure the final KO of the battle with a super effective Smart Strike. With that, we've only got one Power Star left to go in Super MarioMon. What a wild ride this has been. Having nobody die in that fight, even though I was expecting a Fairy type gym, feels really good. So I'm looking forward to keeping this momentum rolling. We've only got one kingdom left, and we actually get a pretty big increase in our level cap. Surprisingly, we only have one evolution left though, and that's our good old pal, Yoshi. Yeah, you remember Yoshi from Peach's gym? Yeah, so I hatched it at Mario's pad earlier in the run, but since I knew I was waiting for this evolution, he's just been chilling in the box. Even though Mario's famous sidekick is kind of like Eevee in this game, if you delay the evolution to the 50s, you get a different capture. The normal dragon type, Yoob. 2 big dragons on my team, it could have been 3, but fuck you, Kamik. The last kingdom is the Moltant kingdom, so let's take down Bowser once and for all. We've got to traverse a whole ton of puzzles here, and I'm going to be real, I got super tilted at not understanding them, so I'm not even going to pretend like I knew what I was doing. We grab a Hammer Bro from floor 1 named Foreman, and for some reason I couldn't get an encounter on floor 2. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, but it didn't let me catch one. No big deal, who needs fire types anyways? After a bunch of puzzles you can figure out on your own, look, yeah, you Andy, I know you're watching this, trying to get the answer for the puzzles, thought I would show you them? No, do it on your own, struggle. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. After the puzzles, Bowser calls us what's gotta be a slur. I can't even say that on YouTube. And it's time for our final showdown. Bowser leads with Chain Chomp and I lead with Trunkle. Intimidate drops our attack, which isn't awesome if we're gonna make our normal Trunkle strategy work, but we'll see what we can do. Power Up Punch gets a crit, which is cool. Bringing our attack back up to neutral, then Chain Chomp uses Bulk Up, boosting its own attack and defense. We Power Up Punch again, getting Trunkle up to +1 attack, then Chain Chomp uses Iron Head, doing a little bit less than half. I don't feel like taking another one of those, so I just settle for the +1 boost and get a KO on Bowser's lead with a Drain Punch. Second up is Kamik, the freak that almost wiped my entire team earlier. I swap my fighting type out into Yoob, who tanks a Tri-Attack for way worse than I thought. This kind of took a while. I used Rest in here and slowly chipped down Bowser's right-hand henchman, but surprisingly, Bowser also randomly swaps Kamik out, bringing in Sumo Bro. I want to keep my dragon alive for a little bit more, so I swap into Trunkle on a Storm Throw that always crits. It's kind of like a double-edged sword always getting a crit, since you can bypass defense boosts I might set up, but I don't need to worry about getting double crit, so I can consistently stay in a little bit longer. Trunkle tries to win this 1v1, but I kinda got a little greedy with power-up punches, so as I decided to swap out, Bowser did the exact same thing, as I bring in Starbag and the King Koopa sends out Kamik again. Starbag is really fast, so I thought I could outspeed here, but instead our Psychic type gets hammered with a super effective Signal Beam. That puts us below half before we can get our second KO of the battle. Bowser brings out Bonsai Bill third, and I'm pretty sure this is the fastest capture in the game, so I swap out into Trunkle on a critical hit Iron Head. That drops our grass type back below half, but that shouldn't be a big deal. We've got Drain Punch for some. Yeah, no, that was all according to plan. Yeah, let's go with that. I swap out into Gloomtail on a Zen Headbutt that he's immune to. And then after tanking an Iron Head, after tanking 2 Iron Heads, a knockoff finishes off Bowser's 3rd capture. And 4th up is Sumo Bro again. I swap to Trunkle, a terrible decision. Then I bring in Starbag, who survives a Storm Throw at 19 HP. See what I mean about consistency? We never got KO'd there since we can't get double crit. A single Psychic brings down Sumo Bro, and Bowser is left with his final capture before his ace, Mecha Chomp. I'm fairly confident that I'm faster, so I use Parting Shot to drop its attack and special attack, while also switching myself out into Yukiki for the first time in the video. She did have to tank a Razor Shell for some solid damage, but that's not super relevant. A single 4 times super effective Earthquake brings down Bowser's Electric Steel type, leaving the King of Koopas with only his final capture, himself. It does have the ability Supreme Overlord, giving him a 50% base power boost on all of his moves. Yukiki is here specifically to make a sacrifice because it's got 2 really important tools, a high speed stat and the move Super Fang. We outspeed Bowser and cut his HP in half with Super Fang, then she makes the honorable sacrifice. From here, I bring in Starbag just to use Parting Shot to switch again into Penguin, who tanks a Razor Shell for like a quarter. From here, our Special Bulk comes in handy, letting Penguin survive a super effective Flamethrower with 63 HP. Then she can secure a KO on the Dragon type with a super effective... Well, that would be bad if we didn't have Aqua Jet. We get the KO for real this time, and that's the final Power Star in the books. Finally, we took down the King Koopa, and we only lost 1 team member to do it. All's well that ends well. Bowser? Whoa, what are you doing? Whoa, put down the syringe. Damn it. Mega Bowser. Well, I've got good captures. Nah, bro. No, don't worry. I got this, man. I don't need your help. Damn it. This isn't gonna be good. Mega Bowser stands in front of me and Luigi, and holy shit, do I have nothing to deal with this. It gets a +1 boost to its attack, special attack, and speed, and a +2 boost to both its defenses. I've got Trunkle out. Not good at all. So I swap into Gloomtail as the super effective Head Smash from Gooba Stack does solid damage, but then Bowser retaliates with a Dragon Rush for a one-shot KO. I'm assuming this thing's a Fire Dragon type now. God, I wish I had one of those still. So now that Luigi sent out his ace PD Piranha, there's like a 50-50 chance it sees a KO on either of us. We outspeed hit it with a super effective Dragon Claw for some solid damage, then PD uses Knockoff to get rid of its Citrus Berry. Now it's Mega Bowser's turn. It uses Dragon Rush into Gloomtail, and that gets a one-shot KO. Fuck off. I bring Starbag out, and after Psychic from us and an Acrobatic from PD, a Flamethrower brings Luigi's starting capture down to its Focus Sash. Another Psychic leaves Bowser in the red, a Knockoff just barely misses the KO, then Bowser uses Dragon Rush into Starbag? Hello? Don't you see the 1 HP grass type? Man, Bowser, bro. Me and my homies hate Bowser. I bring out Trunkle because that's all I have left, and I kind of need PD to clutch up here. Thankfully, Luigi starter uses Acrobatics, bringing down the surprise boss, but leaving me holding the corpses of 2 of my favorite captures of the run. Bowser's gone for now, and our level cap is up to 62 for the Elite Four. But after losing my dragon and my favorite guy, I'm feeling like this run isn't gonna make it anymore. Toadsworth and Peach show up to bring us to the Mushroom Hill, the entrance to Victory Road, and the home of the Shaman, who will max out a certain stat if you give him a bottle cap. We will be making use of that later. But for now, let's tackle Rainbow Road, the last hurdle before the Pokemon League. Or the Capture League, or the Cap League? What the f is it called? I've got a bone to pick with AlphaRad, so listen up. I might love this game, but Rainbow Road is the most evil thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This Mirage Tower-esque Cartmave should put you on a watch list somewhere. I'm not even kidding. Sure, there might be a sign that says you can go another way, but fuck off. You can't tell me there's a shortcut and then say, there's an easy little stupid baby way over there if you want to. Fuck you. I'm not doing that, and you know it. I sat here wanting to snap my controller in half for like 45 minutes, and I'm not even kidding this time. I officially have beef with AlphaRad now. The only way he can make it up to me is by letting me play too many types early with the other streamers. Yeah, let's go with that. Here we are, standing on the precipice of our final gauntlet. We got to build a team, and honestly, I think every member I thought was going to be on this final team is sitting in our death box now. That being said, let's find a couple new team members to help bolster our attack power. Over in Diamond City, we can surf around until we catch a Gushin named Sailor. He can quickly evolve into Mollusk Lanceur, and I'm not saying that a bunch of times, so we're going to go with ML. Okay, ML is a water fire type, which is a crazy combo, plus it learns the signature move of Volcanion, Steam Eruption. After that, we surf north and we can find the Nature Preserve run by the Jungle Kingdom. Since we've got the Power Glove, we can explore the grass and catch the namesake of the most popular Diamond City game, Pyoro. When I caught it, I was like, oh, this freak has super luck, that boosts critical hits, and since it's flying and dark type, I can use Night Slash and Air Cutter, 2 moves with high crit rates. Combine that with a scope lens to boost crit rate again, and we're basically going to get a crit every single turn, right? No. This stupid bird doesn't get either of those moves, even through the move tutor. Way to get my hopes up, weirdo. As punishment, I'm gonna do something a little crazy. By heading back to the Diamond City Battle School and talking to this teacher, we can trade our useless bird for a better bird. Or should I say, a better birdo. Since I can't change her nickname because she's a traded Pokemon, I'm just gonna give her the honorary nickname of Lash Tech. Getting a solid fairy type is pretty awesome for us, and this doesn't get Moonblast? You're joking. Dude, I can't do this anymore. It's okay. We can fix this. I checked the spreadsheet from the Discord to prep my team for the Elite Four, and I saw this, Pixelate. Birdo's hidden ability turns normal type moves into fairy moves, and she also learns Boom Burst by level up, a ridiculously strong special move. So, how can I get this hidden ability on my normal Pokemon? Well, remember when I said this earlier in the video, which won't be important now, but it will be in a little bit. By beating Toadette 3 times in the school, we get access to this battle item store, which includes ability patches, an item that changes your capture's ability to its hidden ability. Just like that, Birdo went from a 0 without Moonblast to a hero with fairy type Boom Burst. At this store, we can also buy mints to change the natures to the best possible one, and we're gonna do that because I turned off EVs for me and these AI freaks do have them, so I need all the help I can get. I'm also gonna use as many bottle caps as I can afford because I have pretty limited funds now. Thanks, Ukes. How's the box? Is it good? I can only afford to use 1 cap per capture on the team, so everyone's gonna get a max IV in their most important stat. With that being said, let's outline the final team. Of course, we're bringing Trunkle. She's been a demon and our lead the entire run. We're also gonna bring Yub to be a dragon type tank for any fire, water, or grass types. Speaking of tanks, we're also gonna bring Clubba because having a steel type to abuse Resto Chesto should be pretty good. Birdo is next on the list, hopefully to abuse fairy type Boom Burst and snag some ridiculous KOs, and ML should also be able to tank some hits on the special side and win us some big fights. That leaves 1 spot left, and honestly, this is the one that feels the most out of place to me, and that's Poison Pokey. I feel like I need a ground type here since there hasn't been an electric type boss battle, and there hasn't been a fairy type boss battle either, so having a poison type is pretty good. The only problem is her stats are kinda mid. That being said, can these 6 take down every challenge the Elite Four has to offer, all without any prior knowledge from me to give them an edge? Let's find out. The first Elite Four member we've got to take down is Princess Peach's main advisor, Toadsworth. He leads with Rex, and I lead with Trunkle. It sets up a Dragon Dance, boosting its attack and speed, as a Drain Punch brings Rex just slightly above half, like I think it was literally 1 HP. That means its Defeatist ability hasn't activated yet, so Rex fires off a full power Iron Head for about a quarter before a second Drain Punch knocks Rex down to the red, shrinking it down and dropping its stats. With Rex turned into a chew toy, I take this chance to get the upper hand. I swap into Birdo on a Fire Fang that only does like 20 damage to our fairy type. From here, Birdo can tank the super effective Iron Head thanks to those Defeatist drops, then fire off a now fairy type Boom Burst for the first KO of the battle. Second up is Mama, but since I've seen this capture before in the Safari Zone, I know it's really slow. That gives Birdo the chance to stay in and fire off a super effective Boom Burst that cleanly nets us KO number 2. Third up is Yub, a capture that I've got on my team as well. Since I know Birdo is faster than Yub, I feel confident staying in, firing off another Boom Burst and securing the 3rd KO of the battle. Fourth up is T-Rex. Wait, an actual T-Rex? And I'm certain this thing is faster than Birdo. I swap out to Clubba on a resisted Iron Head, only doing a tiny bit of damage to my Steel type. I'll fast forward for a bit here. T-Rex sets up a whole bunch trying to do any damage to Clubba, but we slowly chip it down, using Resto Chesto to keep ourselves healthy until the real-life dinosaur falls. That leaves Toadsworth with only... Another one? Really? Well, Clubba used up all his tricks against the last dinosaur, so I swap into Poison Pokey on a super weak Revenge. It uses Aqua Tail, because of course it has that, doing a little bit less than half as we use a knockoff, hoping to get rid of a health item that T-Rex didn't have in the first place. I stay in here, risking a crit and surviving an Aqua Tail with 30 HP, then firing off a Bulldoze, doing a bit of damage and dropping the prehistoric monster's speed. I swap into Yub, but T-Rex kinda just decided to use Outrage, I guess, so our Dragon type takes over half from the super effective move. I kind of wanted to get the KO here, but then I realized I can get a free swap into our powerhouse, Birdo, since she's immune to Dragon-type moves. Thanks to that speed drop from earlier, Birdo can now outspeed and fire off a super effective Boom Burst, taking down Toadsworth's final capture and winning us our first Elite Four battle. All that work we did getting Pixelate on Birdo was so worth it. The second Elite Four member I'm taking on is the organizer of the Cap Challenge herself, Princess Peach. She leads with Yoshi and I lead with Trunkle. Of course, Yoshi has Zen Headbutt, so the super effective move does like a quarter, then our first power-up punch does a little bit less than half, boosting our attack by 1. We repeat that turn again, tanking a Zen Headbutt and then getting our attack to +2. Zen Headbutt flinches us on the next turn, very cool. So after tanking 2 more super effective moves, we finally connect with a Drain Punch, bringing down Peach's lead and getting that much HP back. Second up is Spindrift, a throwback to when DK absolutely destroyed my team. And since I know it's faster than Trunkle, I need to swap out of all my boosts, bringing in Poison Pokey on a resisted Moonblast. Since I'm fairly confident that this thing has the Whimsicott typing, Pokey can stay in here, tanking another resisted Moonblast, then firing off a 4 times super effective Poison Jab, securing a one-shot KO on Peach's second capture. Third up is Hammer Bro, and since I totally forgot that it learns Crab Hammer, I stay in, bringing my part ground type down to 72 HP before we hit a knockoff, getting rid of no item on Hammer Bro. I swap back the Trunkle, and obviously it used Ice Hammer this turn instead of Crab Hammer, almost knocking out my consistent lead. Since I have one of these from Bowser's Castle, I know that it sucks. I stay in and hit a Drain Punch, bringing down the normal type and getting Trunkle some much needed recovery. Fourth up is Birdo, who gets poisoned switching in thanks to the Toxic Spikes Pokey's Toxic Debris ability set up. I swap out to Clubba, tanking a Moonblast super well coming in. I'll fast forward here for a little bit. Birdo does whip out a Burning Jealousy on my Steel type, so I do use ML to clean up the battle, using Recover on the turn when Birdo dies from poison damage, giving our Water Fire type full HP for Peach's last Pokemon, Chinchou. A Shadow Claw gets a crit on the first turn, but it only does like a third, so after our Steam Eruption almost gets a one-shot with poison damage, I'm pretty sure this one's in the bag. An Aqua Jet finishes off the Mummy, and just like that, we're halfway through the Elite Four. Let's keep it going. Third up in our Elite Four gauntlet is the guy who's stepping in for Bowser and the guy that almost wiped my entire team earlier, Kamik. He leads with Angry Sun and I lead with ML. Drought sets up the Sun, which honestly isn't great for us, but then it sets up its attack stats with Workup before a Steam Eruption brings the Soul Rock ripoff down to the red. After a Protect wastes a turn of Sun, a priority Aqua Jet takes down Kamik's lead capture, and second up is Blarg, the capture Kamik took away from us over in Tatsurina Tower. Protect burns turn number 4 of Sun, then I swap out into Birdo, tanking a Scorching Sands super well before the sunlight fades. Now that I can avoid the double power fire moves, I should be pretty alright in this one. Blarg misses a Will-O-Wisp, get owned, then a neutral Boom Burst still gets Birdo another kill to add to her Dragon death counter. Third up is Kamik's own ML, so I protect to see what it's going for, and it's Sludge Bomb. No problem, I pivot through Pokey into Yub, now on a resisted water move, and it's time for the stall. This one takes a while too, because I'm abusing rest again, but you can thank me in the comments for saving you the time. ML goes down, and Kamik sends out himself, 4th. I try to see if I can stall Kamik out too, but it does not go well at all, so it's time for a new plan. I bring in ML on an Air Slash that he tanks pretty well, then on the next turn, he tanks a Tri Attack that obviously gets the para, because why wouldn't it? After that, a Steam Eruption does like 3/4 and gets us the burn as payback. From here, I try to stall Kamik out with Protect and Recover, but ML gets fully paralyzed twice in a row, so now it's too risky to stay in. I swap to Clubba on a resisted Tri Attack that doesn't get a status, lucky me. Then after burn damage doesn't knock it out, a priority First Impression does, bringing down the Elite Four member himself, but somehow he still sends out his last capture, the Fire type Red Yoshi. I swap to Pokey to tank the incoming Flare Blitz, and I'm not doing that again. Jesus Christ. Wait, why am I doing it again? A Razor Shell leaves our ground type in the red again. Then a super effective Drill Run takes care of Red Yoshi, bringing it down and winning us Elite Four battle number 3. That was a little risky, but only one battle left to go. The final roadblock standing in our way is the second co-creator of the Cap Challenge, Professor Elvin Gadd. He leads with Twirler and I lead with Trunkle. I guess he's a ghost type guy, huh? Well, my fighting type can't really do anything right now, so I immediately swap into Yub on a Phantom Force, which is basically ghost type dig. After outspeeding, missing our bite, then being immune to the Phantom Force, we connect with a bite for a little bit less than half before the ghost type pulls out the fighting type move, Hammer Arm. Yeah, no, that's fair. It can use fighting moves, but I can't hit it with one? Sure, yeah. I stay in for a couple turns with Yub, Then I swap to Birdo on a resisted fighting move before she cleans up Egad's lead with a Boom Burst. Second up is Mad Piano. God, I want this freak on my team. So I protect to find out that it's using Fire Fang. I'm cool with that, so I stay in, tank an Ice Fang instead for the same amount of damage, then get a one-shot KO with Boom Burst. Third up is Bruiser, and since Birdo isn't faster, I swap into Pokey on a Swagger, boosting our attack but confusing us. I'm a gambling man, as you know, so I risk the confusion, tank a Stomping Tantrum, then break through it and hit a knockoff for less than half. I swap into ML here, mostly because I forgot Stomping Tantrum was super effective, then break through a confusion from Swagger before finishing off Egad's third capture with a Steam Eruption. Fourth up is King Boo, so I pivot through Comedian, who takes way too much damage for my liking, then into Trunkle on a Dark Pulse for some resisted damage. A Signal Beam on the next turn doesn't do too much, then our Seed Bomb right after brings King Boo down below half HP. Awesome. Nice and easy. That was close. Plus it lived on a sliver of HP too, just my fucking luck. I swap into Clubba again, and of course the AI randomly selected Dark Pulse, doing huge damage to my Steel type that doesn't resist it in this game. At least we have priority first impression to take it down before I risk another crit. Last up for Egad is Eerie, a capture I haven't seen before this actually. It gets poisoned from the toxic debris, so it tries to even up the playing field using Will-O-Wisp. Too bad we used Rest this turn, so we went to sleep and cured the burn anyways. Eerie uses Struggle Bug on our first turn of sleep, and if that's the best move it's got, we're in the clear. I'll fast forward now, but I will say it does have the ability Perish Body, which works like Cursed Body, but instead of disabling a move, it puts Clubba on a Perish timer instead. It's pretty cool, but since we could KO it in 3 turns with knockoff, we weren't at any risk at all. Eerie goes down, and we've made it through the entire Elite Four of the Cap Challenge. Why don't we go become the champion, huh? We enter the final room, and a mysterious figure, dressed in green with a mask on, claims to be the Cap Challenge champion. I don't know who this Mr. L thinks he is, but if anyone's gonna be the champion, it's me. Mr. L leads with Major Burrows, and I lead with Trunkle. Ironhead does decent damage, but since it didn't get a flinch, super effective Drain Punch connects, healing back most of the HP we just lost. It actually does get the flinch on the next turn, but after that, it uses Resisted Earthquake for some reason, before another Drain Punch gets Trunkle back up to almost full, and thanks to a nice critical hit, gets us the first KO of the battle. Second up is King Boo, so I swap into my Fairy-type Birdo on a Draining Kiss that does basically nothing. A Will-O-Wisp might connect and burn us, but since that doesn't reduce special attack damage, our newest team member can still get a KO with the super effective Fairy-type Boom Burst. Third up is Pyoro, which feels like an odd choice into my Fairy type. It uses Knockoff to get rid of my Wise Glasses, but like, I don't really need them when I've got 140 base power, super effective Stab Boom Burst. See you later, fraud. Fourth up is Mare, and since I just can't kill this with Boom Burst, I need to protect to see what it's going for, and it's Aqua Tail. I bring in Yub to resist it, but it went for Earthquake instead, I guess. Cool. A Dragon Hammer does solid damage, but of course it has Ice Fang, so the super effective boost makes it do a ton of damage to our Dragon type. I'll fast forward as Yub gets some more chip damage, but basically, we get Mare decently low, then use Rest to heal up, but fall asleep. At this point, I can either swap Yub out and keep my Sleeping Dragon alive, or I can make the sacrifice to keep some HP on my other captures, and the latter is exactly what I'm gonna do. Yub goes down, leaving Mare barely alive in the red, and we've gotta take advantage of this opening that Yub just gave us. I bring in Clubba, who's uniquely suited for this opportunity. Since we've got priority first impression, we can bring down Mr. L's terrifying fish without losing any HP. Without losing a lot of HP, before he sends out his next capture, Blarg. Everywhere I go, I'm reminded of him. I swap out to ML on a 4x resisted fire move, then he tanks a Dragon Pulse before hitting a Steam Eruption, bringing the fire Dragon type down to the red with a critical hit. From here, an Aqua Jet can finish off Blarg without me needing to waste any more turns using Recover. That leaves the Cap Champion with only his ace, PD Piranha. Hey, wait a second. That's the same ace as Luigi. What a copycat. A knockoff might get rid of ML's Citrus Berry, but a single super effective flamethrower from our Octopus is actually enough to bring down PD, winning us the battle and making us the champion of the Cap Challenge. Mr. L reveals his secret identity, Luigi. God damn it, I should have known. Then we enter the Hall of Fame. With that, we've officially beaten a Super MarioMon Hardcore Nuzlocke. Thanks guys so much for watching this one. I've been dying to play this hack since Alpha first announced it, and I'm really happy with this video that I put together for my first playthrough. If you guys want to see more RomHack stuff or more of this game in general, let me know in the comments. This was a blast. With that being said guys, I've got 2 pretty big videos out this month and I'm exhausted. I'm gonna go have a nap and I will see you guys in the next video. But until then, take care of each other.